What up, everybody? And welcome once again to Tale of the Tape, brought to you by Gym Bag Entertainment. And this is the Combat Show by guys who love combat sports. And as always, it's your host, your boy, Craig, and with my co-host,
your agitated analyst this week, Michael Johnson. Just a little.
Just a little.
Yeah.
And we had one of... I don't want to say one of the best, but we had an excellent pay-per-view this past weekend. A lot of excitement, a lot of surprises.
Yes.
And I'd like to say pleasant surprises.
Oh, yeah.
But all in all, just one hell of a card.
Oh, absolutely.
And with that being said, I want to just jump right into it. UFC 246, Cowboy versus McGregor, Saturday, January 18th at 10 p.m. in the T-Mobile Arena. And it started off right. With the women's flyweight division, Sabina Mazo 7-1 going up against the 8-3 JJ Aldridge. How'd this one go?
I enjoyed this fight quite a bit.
Yes.
Actually. JJ started strong. Mm-hmm. Seen her putting them combos together. Sabina had a long jab, and she was trying to feel her out with some kicks, and JJ was evading good and countering the jab. Sabina just didn't quit. Just kept coming. And JJ started to wilt a little bit. Comes rounds 2 and 3. She was having good timing with that straight left in round 2, but Sabina just didn't quit. She was getting hit in the mouth. Her mouth was swelling up good.
Bad.
But she kept coming, kept throwing strikes. She throws like 327 total strikes, lands 121.
Yeah.
But I mean, Aldrich's numbers were 156 and only landed 69. So
really,
in the end, I mean, Mazo really just out of will. She willed the win out of it, took some damage.
Yep.
And the third round, pretty good clinch there.
Oh, yeah.
Aldrich had no answer for the full plum, and landing them knees to the body was pretty vicious.
There was a point where she definitely hurt Aldridge, but big ups to Aldridge in that first round.
She was killing her in the first round.
In the first round, and I have to give big ups to both. Like, JJ came in with a game plan, in the first round at least, she was executing to almost perfection. Sabina seemed to have no answer, couldn't respond. But then ups to Sabina for hanging in there, figuring it out,
some adjustments.
Making her adjustments, listening to her coaches, and getting in there and securing the decision.
Yeah, she gets herself a split decision, 29-28.
Yeah. So I like that fight all in all.
Open it, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And both fighters deserving of a thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
In the men's bantamweight division, Brian Kelleher 19-10 going up against the 6-2 with 1-0 contest, Odie Osborne.
Yeah, this was upsetting. Old Osborne. We had high hopes for him.
Wicked high hopes. Started off strong.
He did. Comes out pretty good. We see him moving around, throwing some kicks and stuff. Mm-hmm. It looked real good. But then Kelleher gets the hands on him. Great double leg takedown.
Oh, my God.
And pushes him up against the fence hard. Ode's trying to scramble, finds himself in the guillotine, locked up tight, taps out with his foot.
Yes.
Hats off to the ref for noticing the foot.
Yeah, I mean, you noticed that. We watched the fight together.
I was like, oh, man, he's tapping.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, I didn't even see the tap come, but it was like, you're not wrong there. As soon as Kelleher got his hands on him, it was all over. It was all about when and where the fight was going to end.
And old Osborne, was supposed to be the ground threat here, and gets finished quick with the submission.
Yeah, man. One of those big surprises, man. That was the first fight I got wrong, and
I believe that was on the main card though. To Brian Kelleher.
Did it get bumped to the main card?
That one got bumped up because of the cancellation.
You're right. It ended up being the first card because it replaced Claudia Gadelia. It was originally on the early prelims. Gets bumped up, deservingly so.
Right. Round 1, 2 minutes, 49 seconds. Performance of the night bonus for Brian Kelleher as well.
Congratulations. And then to end the early prelims, Aleska Kamor 5-0 going up against the 9-2 1-0 contest, Justin Leddit.
Justin Leddit, always a threat. Had good boxing in this. Just didn't do enough. Decent jab. He was countering okay. Alexa definitely was, nervous in the big show. on the bright
Yeah.
lights, first fight. Swinging for the fences round one, pushing the pace. Yeah, good pressure and mixed it up okay. Just, couldn't find his range so much, but definitely gets a unanimous decision.
Yep.
Good showing for the kid in his first fight.
And then what a way to start the prelims. Drew Dauber, 21-9 with 1 no contest, going up against the up-and-coming 11-2 Nasrat Parast.
Nasrat, I had real high hopes for him, honestly. And he threw a horrible, horrible leg kick with his face exposed.
Oh, man.
Head on the center line with his hands way down. I mean, that was Muay Thai first day class, And
Amen to that one.
And Drew Dober just throws the overhand right when Nasrat throws the kick. Times it perfectly to counter the leg kick, realizes the kick's not going to be strong enough to hurt him, throws the counter punch, lands it devastatingly.
Oh, flush.
Drops him down.
Late stoppage on this one, though.
A little bit. He lands a little too many on the ground,
Yeah, I personally counted from the moment he hit the ground, 11 strikes, and at least minimum 5 of them were unnecessary.
Yeah, at least 5 unnecessary.
Unless you're Jorge Masvidal, then they're absolutely
super necessary.
Yes, there you go, super necessary.
But, Dober throwing fast while he's down there, I don't want to be too harsh on him.
I'm not harsh.
But performance of the night for Drew Dober here for the KO, round 1 minute and 10 seconds. I seen a post-fight video of him with Ariel Helwani because he asked him, why he stayed on his knees after the knockout. And he said, well, if I KO an opponent, I'm not going to get up until he does. So he respectfully stayed on his knees until Nasrat was able to stand up. I thought that was pretty classy.
Wow, that super classy from Drew Dober. Definitely once again another unexpected victory.
Yep. Derails Nasrat's train because he was a hype.
Yeah, he looks like what's funny is Nasrat looks like whatchamacallit's little brother.
Calvin Gastelum's
little brother. So that's always funny. In the men's flyweight division, somewhat to me kind of an exciting fight.
Yeah.
Tim Elliott 15-9-1 going up against the 1-0 with 1-0-1 Askar Askarov.
Yeah, Askar Askarov, he's a hype machine too, and he did well here. Tim Elliott hanging with it, just being the gritty dog that he is, gets hurt bad early in the first round.
Stiffened up, so tight.
That right hand knockdown just, had him asleep for a second.
Technically not even a knockdown.
I think, because he didn't go down. He took him down after that punch, because when he tried to swarm him, he didn't even go down. Yeah.
Because he kind of fell into a takedown attempt.
I believe he was completely asleep.
Yes.
And then when Askar shot for the takedown, it woke him up. Because he immediately starts to defend and starts to go for submissions on the ground, and we get the big scrambles.
Crazy impressive to me
from Tim Elliott that we always see, which is great. And the flyweight division, we always see that, which I love.
Love it.
First round, just kind of top control for Askarov, but Elliott never staying still. I mean, that was exciting. Second round, 3 huge judo throws. I was hoping he was going to say Tim Elliott. Huge. I mean, those are so impressive. He should have pushed that advantage way more. He obviously had the standing clinch advantage, no matter what. Askar pops right back up 2 of the 3 times.
Yeah.
And, Tim gets some top control out of the third takedown and wins himself a round pretty nicely.
Absolutely. To be honest with you, I feel like his win of the round might have been even a little more than Askar.
He just didn't have Askar almost finished.
Yeah.
Because Tim was definitely asleep.
Oh, yeah, Tim was asleep.
But came back crazy. Then the third round, Askar settled into his boxing.
Yeah.
Really starts landing, is avoiding the clinch, doesn't want to get thrown again, realizes that that's not a good idea. Realizes that they're kind of canceling each other on the ground.
Yeah.
Let me go with my advantage. Starts throwing the hands and shows that he definitely had an advantage in the boxing. Tim Elliott just with no punching power.
Not only no punching
some trash
power.
boxing.
Not only no punching power or or ability to land, but like a severe lack of urgency.
Yeah.
Like you have to know you lost the first round. You
Just
got
trying to mix it up.
Yeah, you got put to sleep.
I think every time Askar came to him in that third round, he just wanted to put a couple of them shots on him and make it look like he was mixing it up. But they were completely insignificant. Every single one of them was an arm punch. He's got no body turn into his boxing. Real strange,
Yeah.
Trashy boxing.
And then, like, at one point, there's
he gassed out chasing Askarov for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And he was chasing him with the hands down. You know what? To be honest with you, I like that. I like when a dude has
He's like, come on. You're going to fight or keep backing away from me.
Yeah, because he's trying
like
to he's trying to get the counter.
Askar did not want to be that close to him. He wanted to punch long, which he was doing. He was gassed out, too, from all that grappling work.
But then at one point, Elliott just stands there with his hands on his hips, and like Askar's confused, like, wait, is the fight over? I don't know. I thought that was a little strange, somewhat unprofessional.
But
are you there to win a fight or?
Super exciting.
Yeah, it was a super exciting fight, though.
29-28 unanimous decision for Askar, so they definitely gave Tim that big second round.
The next fight, to me, was there's an argument for fight of the night here.
Yeah,
there is an argument.
I think Dana White handed out 5 performances of the night.
Handed out
bonuses, and that's crazy to me that this fight didn't get one.
It didn't get a bonus.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Featherweight division. Andre Feely, 20-6, going up against the 10-1 Sodiq Yusuff.
Round 1, just trading
hard.
You know what I mean?
Swinging for fences.
The whole fight, trading. That's super exciting. Andre Feely with 3 takedowns in the first round.
Good takedowns, like full hands behind the butt.
Sadiq, he was unable to hold him down one bit. He popped right back up. But, in my eyes, still, you took that man down. Sadiq with the better power shots for sure.
Oh. Well, I don't know.
And he landed slightly a little bit more.
Yeah, I think he hit harder, but I don't want to take anything away from because Feely was landing.
But he had the better boxing overall. That long jab, because Sadiq is all power shots. Round 2. The Kimura attempt, was that round 1 or round 2 from Sadiq? I think that might have been round 1 when he goes for the Kimura.
To be honest with you, I don't remember which round it was. I do remember him going for the Kimura.
Because he had him clinched against the fence, and Sadiq escapes with the Kimura. It looks a little, suspect for a minute, and then he gets up. He stands up. Then they clinch on the fence. Actually, Sadiq gets a trip in round 2, gets some nice top control.
Yep.
We're all shocked at Sadiq's, jiu-jitsu on the ground. Fantastic work.
He put in some real work on the ground and some heavy shots.
Yeah.
I feel like he was
hurting.
The ground and
pound was real good. Absolutely.
I think even on the feet, wasn't there a moment where I think he rocked Feely?
Feely was stumbled, and I think Feely landed a good shot though in the third round that Sadiq, was stumbled too.
Yeah, he kind of slouched a little bit.
Third round, Feely had the jab going real good. It was a slower pace for Sadiq, but I think after that second round, he knew, I just got to keep it close. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much what happened. I think it was a little closer than the unanimous decision shows for Sadiq Yusuff. But
I don't think it would have been I don't think it deserved a split, but maybe 29-28.
Yeah, it was just just so many shots landed.
Just an excellent fight altogether by both guys.
Fight.
And then to round out the prelims, such a great fight. Definitely one of those fights that is in an argument for performance of the night. Mm-hmm. In the women's flyweight division, Roxanne Modafferi, 23-16, going up against the undefeated 8-0 Macy Barber. Someone kind of ruined this fight for me. I just don't remember who it was.
Yeah, I was intoxicated riding home from the fight.
If you have not watched the fight, do not be around Mike.
Yeah, no, because I'll tell you what happened. Accidentally. This is the story of the knee, obviously.
Yeah.
We kind of missed out on the full fight that we could have had, probably, you know, because of the buckling of Macy Barber's knee. She obviously, it's been reported afterwards, she's got a full ACL tear.
Yep.
Going to be out for months and months now.
I love the doctor who's like a human MRI.
Yeah.
She's
I
got
love
the
how they say it. I never seen
slight-
somebody do
No.
that. And they didn't even, you know, she wouldn't let him check it in between rounds because she's like, no, I'm fine. And the coaches were like pushing him away, the doctor, so he couldn't get in there.
Yeah.
And, you know, but he forced it on her when the round started. Let me check your knee. Like, that was weird for round two.
I mean, everybody was saying it. They never, like, Thiago Santos, 2 ACL tears in his knees.
You're watching him hobble around,
Yeah,
and
it,
nobody once thought
Nope.
to check this man's leg. You watched it folding back and forth.
Yep. Once again, another bias that is kind of proven. What's her Aspen Ladd's point? You know,
Yeah.
she wanted a overturn because of bias, and they're saying there wasn't. But we've seen multiple fights now where, like, now that it's in our head, we're starting to see the bias that's going on.
Absolutely. Even before the knee, though, I mean, I think it might have been existing, something small from her camp, probably, that just blew wide open during the fight.
Yeah.
Modafferi landed in the right hand. You know what I mean? Even before the takedown in the ground control.
She was winning the fight before it went down.
She's winning the stand-up, too, which impressed me the most, you know?
Yeah.
How her jab looked good. She was letting the hands go, gets a great takedown, and has top control whole first round. So
Mounts her.
it was a fantastic first round. Yeah, gets the mount.
You know what? In the first round, at the end of the round, she gets the full mount. And had she been just a slight bit more patient, she had the rear naked choke.
Yeah.
Macy Barber opened her neck up. Roxanne gets a little bit too excited, ends up on her back.
Yep.
Macy Barber in a guard.
And then second round, takedown, full mount, elbows, big cut in the hairline of Macy Barber. They end up getting back up because Macy's scrambling pretty good. She
did not give up, man.
No, not at all. And then Roxanne goes to throw that jab, and Macy fell down. You seen the knee just go out. And then that's when you know it's a real problem. Like, what? You know?
Big ups to Modafferi because, you know, she knows that she's hurt, but she also knows that, like, you got to be relentless. And she says it in her interview, like, she feels bad, but, like, when you're in the octagon, until the ref stops you, you got to keep going.
She said on the internet afterwards that, you know, she never once thought of attacking her injured leg. She was like, if I had kicked her in the leg and her leg was hurt from that, then I could, you know, then I'd feel okay still going at that.
Yeah.
But, you know, when somebody's injured like that, she's like, I'm not going to try to injure her more, you know.
Big respect for that
Big
one.
respect. Round 3, just Roxanne lands the knee off of the jab. It was so cool. Like, she's landing knees all the time. They end up going back to the ground because Macy's just falling down, you know. She ends up switching her, though, in that last round. Did you remember that, Macy Barber?
Oh, yeah. When she
Gets some good offense, too.
Yeah.
Gets the Americana, starts threatening the submission. So, I mean, she never went away.
She never went away. She never gave up. But I will say this. I almost want to retract what I said before. Maybe, just maybe, Paige Van Zandt was a good call out.
Maybe it was.
Like,
I mean,
maybe
we don't know
gave
how
her-
much, but like I said, we don't know how much that knee might have been compromised in her camp. And Macy is real full of herself. Sorry.
Yeah.
But you are. And, you know,
That young,
I think
and
she-
that
she-
successful, yeah.
She might have just said, let me fight anyways. And she might not even have told her coaches about some
Maybe.
pain in her knee that she might have been feeling because she thinks, oh, I'll take Modafferi, no problem. Well, now she knows better.
Yeah, and if she didn't, then, like, I don't know. After watching this fight and because, you know, the knee didn't get real bad until, the knee wasn't bad until she went down. So I gotta say that I think maybe when she called out 12 gauge, she was calling out a fighter who she believed was in her wheelhouse.
And I just think, you know, people slept on Roxy in this fight, man.
Oh,
She's
absolutely.
a super threat, and she's still in the game.
She's a true veteran.
And she's still in the game, and she's
Yeah.
on her way up again. I like it.
All right. And now we reach the main card, the only fight I have not yet to see. The lightweight division, Anthony Pettis, 22-9, going up against the 16-2 Carlos Diego Ferreira.
Well, now I'm allowed to spoil it.
Yeah.
First round, I was had some high hopes for Pettis.
Yeah.
Comes out southpaw, is landing a good push kick with the right foot. He was dictating the range, classic Anthony Pettis. Looked good. However, Diego pushes it. I got to give, hats off to Carlos Diego Ferreira. Came out to the Footloose song, on his entrance.
Okay.
So that got me kind of like swaying towards his way a little bit right off the bat.
Little comedy.
He ends up pushing and pushing. Finally gets his hands on him. Takes his back from standing. Jumps on him. Jumps on Pettis.
Yep, I get it.
And gets a takedown off of the cage. Because of it, Pettis shakes him off a little bit, and then the round ends while he's on his back. Second round, single leg immediately by Carlos Diego Ferreira. Pushes him back to the cage. Good defense, but gives his back in the scramble again. Anthony Pettis.
No.
I mean, he's never worried about just giving up his back.
Yeah.
I'll just stay calm and fight these hands, and everything will be fine. It wasn't fine.
Oh.
No. Ferreira just swallowed him from there. Too much pressure, landing ground and pound. Ends up choking him with a custom rear naked, kind of from the side a little bit.
Oh.
And I think there was some shades of like Conor McGregor tapping here in this one.
Oh, like waiting to tap.
Yeah, it was a little. It was, as soon as the arm went under the neck, it was a little early.
Fast.
Yeah, especially because he didn't really have hooks in. He was just kind of laying on
hooks
on his side. He had like one hook in, but I mean he was laying on his side. Pettis was, so he. I don't know. He could have rolled. He could have went to his back. He could have. I don't know.
Also reminiscent of what was it, Tai Tuivasa?
Yeah.
Yeah, who like let himself get submitted.
Yeah, right. Like take the position. Now I'll tap.
Oh man.
Carlos hurt his knee a little bit. It looked like he's limping after the fight. Hurt his own knee. He said he don't know what happened. Just hurt a little bit, but hopefully not a big deal. Gets himself a great submission. Round 2, minute and 46 seconds. He really pushed it in that second round just to get the takedown because he knew. I think in the first round when he was on his back like that, he was like, "Yo, this is over,"
Exactly.
And went for it hard in the second. Performance of the night for him as well.
Well, I would like to say, next fight is the women's strawweight division, but we got robbed.
Yes.
Thanks, Alexa.
Yeah.
So we move on to the heavyweight division. Alexei Olenek, 57-13-1 against the 8-3 Maurice Green.
Another surprise.
We both chose
Pleasant surprise.
Yeah, pleasant surprise. We both chose Maurice Green, but what happened before the fight?
What happened?
What did I do?
What did you do? Did you switch up?
I called it. I said, I have a feeling that Olenek is going to take this fight, and I just had a feeling.
He did look focused.
Yeah, he looked super focused, and I had this feeling that Maurice Green is just not MMA ready.
Right.
He's not UFC ready.
And Maurice comes out, and I don't know. Yeah, he's not that big of a heavyweight. He's super tall.
Yeah.
But he's not that big of a heavyweight, and he looks sloppy. I don't know how much strength conditioning he really does.
He's more confidence than actual
His gas
ability.
tank is super suspect. You know what I mean?
He has absolutely no ground game.
And he had no ground game, and he had no answer for Alexei Olenek in this. Immediate takedown.
Yep.
Top control. Full mount. Olenek just working through positions on him on the ground. Conservative with the ground and pound. Not really much at all. He had that custom anaconda bulldog style choke from side control.
That was crazy.
He poured some energy into that, and I think that definitely, if anything, it gassed Maurice Green a lot.
You would think it would gas Alexei
as well,
but he seemed fine come next round. Maurice Green definitely blown out.
He was definitely gassed out from that second round. Another takedown, top control. Olenek's just working him, moving through the positions again. Like I said, gives up his back. Maurice Green does. Goes to the side and gets that belly down arm bar that them Russian Sambo champions love, and submits Maurice Green. Performance of the night here too.
Absolutely.
Round 2, 4 minutes 38 seconds, adds another win to that crazy long record.
Crazy long record. You know what I'm saying? 58-13, man. That's so good.
That's so good. If you get to 60-13, I'm retiring.
Exactly.
Call it a day. That's gorgeous. You know.
All right, and then in the women's bantamweight division, Holly Holm 12-5 versus the 10-7 Raquel Pennington. And if I had to, I would say least of the night.
I know, and it's terrible to have to award least of the night to two of my favorite female fighters. You know, two of my favorite fighters in general. Like, they're up there on the list.
They are.
This is another super surprising fight that there was just no action.
Nothing.
Holly was real scared to lose again.
Yeah.
I think she's real scared in general to lose again, especially coming off the losses in a row. You know, she fights with super emotion. Mm-hmm. So thinking about that, you know, like that many losses in a row. And
I think she comes into a fight with high anxiety.
Yeah, super anxiety. The emotions just pour out of her. And Raquel, you know, in all honesty though, Raquel couldn't get away from what Holly was doing.
Yeah, that's why you can't actually, you know, if something works,
right,
and you're trying to win, you're not just trying, you're trying to earn your living.
Somebody's dangerous. Raquel's dangerous,
super dangerous.
You know,
and so
she was winning.
Yeah,
Holly was winning in them clinch positions.
I don't hate Holly for what she did, but as you know, as a fight fan, you want to see action,
right?
But you found something that worked, mm-hmm, that can pretty much guarantee you the victory. You know, you really can't get away from that.
And when you're in a fight, it's like a flowing thing, you know, and if it's flowing and it feels that it's in your favor, mm-hmm, then that makes you continue that, and it makes your confidence feel good in that position, and you know, why stray away from it? So I do get that. Just, you know, we end up with a lackluster, non-entertaining fight. Good knees from Raquel Pennington trying to get out of it, but just clinch pressure by Holly Holm.
Yeah, and I mean, it really is the job of Raquel Pennington, like keep
stop her.
Yeah, keep that range. Stay out of the clinch range.
Get the movement going. Yeah. You know, land some shots, make her pay for coming in the clinch.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you know, unanimous decision for Holly. So 30-27 twice and 29-28. So you know, she did work her in that position.
They gave Raquel a round?
I guess.
Somebody did?
One judge did.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about this main event. The welterweight division. Donald Cowboy Cerrone, 36-13, 1-0 contest, going up against the notorious one, returning to the octagon for the first time in almost 2 years, 21-4, Conor McGregor.
Conor with the 42nd decimation.
Oh, man.
Performance of the night for him as
Absolutely.
Well. TKO in the first round. The whole fight, I would describe.
Yes.
Conor throws a left hand, Cowboy ducks under. Catches Conor's thigh in the face.
Yes.
They both go to the single arm underhook in the middle of the ring, clinching. Conor lowers his level and bashes his shoulder into Cowboy.
Thrust a shoulder into Cowboy
4 times.
What, 3? Wasn't it 3?
No,
it was 4.
Yeah, it was 4. The first one got him in the mouth, and he says, "Ooh." Second one, flush on the nose. That's what started causing damage. Third one, right to the eye, and the fourth one, high on the bridge of the nose. And then he backs up, staggering.
Yep.
And Conor throws the high kick, lands it. You know,
and
more of just toes than anything, but lands it hard.
Flush
and
on
Cowboy's
the cheek.
already hurt from all the shoulders. Then Conor with the jumping knee to cap it off, catches him, grazes him a little bit.
Here's his corner, tell him to calm down and pick his shots, and that's what he
Starts throwing the hands smartly, and Cowboy winces. There was a moment that, you know, when Cowboy rolled off to the side, like I thought, oh, maybe he'll survive, maybe he'll be able to grapple here and catch his breath.
Once Conor gets you there, man, it's pretty much done deal.
And that's pretty much how I called it. You know, I said he starts ferocious and Cowboy starts too slow for him.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, this was
the thigh to the leg. I was impressed with that. You know, he throws a huge left hand to start the fight. Cowboy, you know, Cowboy sees it coming, ducks under, but ducks too hard.
Yeah.
You know, and Conor pretty much in mid-motion kind of changes to a knee, you know.
What a fight IQ.
And hits him with the leg. Yeah, that was impressive. And I got to give the shoulder strikes technique of the week.
I knew you were. Because there's no other option.
You have some people hating on him, like, what kind of strike is that? It's a smart, effective strike.
An effective strike. That's all it is. It's an effective strike. One of the best in big. No, I don't want to say best. Connor's the best user of it, even though it's his first time.
Right.
But one of the originators and guys who've been doing it forever is Bones Jones.
Yeah.
He's
you see it in the clinch.
Doing it.
You shoving it in guys' face. But
he doesn't level change.
The way that Connor changed level so low and brought it up straight up in the air. I mean, the top of your shoulder blade is where your collarbone connects. It's all bone.
Yeah.
It's like hitting somebody with the heel of your foot.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, the way Jones used it, he uses it as an aggravator.
Right.
Connor used it as a
just
straight
like the foot
strike.
Stomp or something like that.
He used it as a solid strike.
Yeah, incredible fight. Nothing but respect from both guys either way. It's crazy.
After watching this fight, the question in everybody's mind is who's next for Connor.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think there's more than just a who's next. I think there's a line of fighters that should be in line and that get to fight Connor. We talked about it before that after this fight, Connor should have to fight a bunch of people before he gets a title shot. The way he wins, he's null and voided that. He, if need be, and Dana White wants, he says it's the biggest fight that can be made in sports history.
Absolutely.
He says it's Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier. Foreman. George Foreman. It's the biggest fight that can be made in sports history. And I agree. Khabib is definitely that fight, and I think he proved that he earned it. I don't know if he wins that fight. I think that
this is the type of stuff that's making me the agitated one this week because I don't understand. I mean, I get okay, the big win.
Yeah.
But he just beat a welterweight. So I don't know.
But I don't
just
think
earns you a title shot right off the bat. I mean,
in UFC it does.
I guess. Yeah. And as Conor McGregor, I get the name carries much more than his current form.
And it's not like he's been the two title champ.
Absolutely.
And let's give a shout out to his accolade that he made in this night. Now being the first and only fighter to have a knockout to secure a TKO in 3 different weight classes.
Right.
Amazing feat.
Absolutely, that's fantastic.
But here's the list of fighters that I don't just hope to see him fight. I think that he must fight over the course of at least the next 2 years. We need Conor Diaz 2.
3.
I mean 3, excuse me.
Absolutely.
We absolutely need that
match.
fight.
Need that.
We need to see Conor McGregor, Jorge Masvidal for the BMF.
Yeah.
I think they need to fight for that BMF title.
I like it, and I think Masvidal, is asking for it. Why else would he be wearing Conor's Versace robe?
He most recently did say that at this point he thinks that the Usman fight is better for him, but I want to see him fight Conor for the BMF before he fights for the belt.
Yeah.
If he loses to Conor, does that ruin his chances at going for the belt? Maybe, but I think that's the fight to be made. And 2 bad dudes who just don't care and will fight anybody, put them together in the octagon. That's amazing. Now that he's at welterweight, I think even though it's not a big money fight, I think we need to get the fight that we got robbed of.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor, Rafael Dos Anjos.
I would not be upset with seeing that. I mean, Dos Anjos would not be upset with fighting him, I'm sure.
Especially not at welterweight.
Right, absolutely. Dos Anjos is a better fighter than he was, for sure.
Especially at the time when they were supposed to fight, he is way above that guy. Conor said that he would beat the crap out of 2016 Conor McGregor, and same thing. Rafael Dos Anjos would wipe the floor with his old self. Yeah. And that was the lightweight version of him. Now he's at welterweight, total different fighter. When I saw his name because he's in this next fight, and I was like, man. There was so much hype on that fight.
There was. I mean, it was before, Alvarez came in, to take the belt from him.
And so I think we got robbed of that fight, and I think we deserve to get to see that fight. So that's another person. Outside of MMA, the talks have happened. I do want to see Conor versus Mayweather too.
Yeah.
Because it was fun.
And him going to boxing, just brings more fans towards the UFC,
Exactly.
which I like a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And and with that, a piece of news that we have is that boxing promoter Bob Arum wants Conor for a 2-fight deal against Terrence Crawford, one of the best boxers in boxing right now.
Oh, yeah.
And he wants the first fight to be MMA rules, second fight to be boxing rules.
That's crazy.
And to me, that is not only is that awesome, but
If a boxer is truly willing to step into the octagon to face a fighter in mixed martial arts rules, then I'm all for it.
Absolutely.
I mean, he better be ready, though.
he better be ready.
You know?
But at the end of the day,
All he's really got to do is keep himself from getting taken down.
Yeah.
And he can employ
and Conor
his game
McGregor
plan.
don't care about taking nobody down.
And he can employ his game plan.
Yeah. And then you know what? Because he said something about it, another thing I would like to see is Conor McGregor in a bare knuckle boxing fight.
Yeah.
He
He did
said,
talk about because his boy Artem Lobov, is over there. And
said it's so interesting and that it appeals to him.
right. He said, that maybe later on, especially because of the damage factor,
Yeah, it's nothing he can do anytime. I wouldn't want to see him do it recently.
I think it's like, save yourself for like the last couple fights of your career
Exactly.
and you can try some bare knuckle stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, because I don't want to say you can end a career in bare knuckle because it's just boxing at the end of the day. But you break an orbital bone or
Yeah.
get your jaw broken.
Cowboy out for a while on with a fracture in the face,
Yeah.
probably from the shoulder.
Oh
You know?
yeah, definitely from the shoulder.
When he hits him on the eye,
I'd probably crack the orbital. But there's so many fights that I want to see happen for Conor. And to be honest with you, for me, even though Dana White thinks it's the biggest, the least fight I want to see is him and Khabib. I don't actually care about him and Khabib.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's an exciting fight.
I'd rather see him versus
It's
Gaethje.
just the trash talk. I'd rather see him fight Justin Gaethje, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Masvidal, like you said,
Absolutely.
If he wants to stay at 170, Jorge Masvidal. If he wants to come down to 155, let him fight Justin Gaethje.
And actually, you know what? Even though he only beat Cowboy Cerrone, hats off to Cowboy Cerrone because he's an excellent fighter. But like, you don't fight Cowboy Cerrone to get a title shot.
No.
So I would say, give us that Rafael dos Anjos fight in March.
Why not?
Right? Give us that fight in March. And if he wins that fight,
And wants to stay at 170, let him fight Usman.
because Jorge is #1 contender.
Yeah.
How you get this is where
Or let him fight the winner. If he wants to stay at welterweight, let him fight the winner of Usman and Masvidal.
yeah. So there's a lot. There's a lot of interesting things.
There's exciting fights if the UFC matches them up.
Yeah,
Because, you seem to just get title shots on name
exactly.
these days.
Popularity gets you.
At least these last string of title shots is a little upsetting,
One fight I do like. I think we kind of talked about this on one of our shows. Leon Edwards is scheduled to fight Tyron Matthews.
Tyron Woodley?
Tyron Woodley. I said, why not Tyron Matthews?
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, that's he's the safety from
I was gonna
Kansas
say,
City Chiefs.
that's a
I was just talking about him
football player,
yesterday.
ain't it?
Yeah, Tyrone Woodley, and they're scheduled to fight in March. That's a big fight.
I like it a lot. Absolutely. I mean, if Leon Edwards beats Woodley, then I would say #1 contender for him. I mean,
How can he not be?
Yeah.
I mean, Leon Edwards has beat some names. He's definitely got to be in the range for a title shot.
His win streak is crazy.
Yep.
With the names too. Yeah.
So
I like it a lot.
I would love to see that
And
fight.
yeah, and I'm glad to see Woodley come back. And I'm glad he's down.
I don't know if I'm glad to see him come back.
I am, because I think he's got a real chance here to be something different. Like he's had a lot of time off since losing the belt to Usman. He seems
Maybe we get old Tyrone Woodley back.
right. Maybe the hungry knockout artist who you can't wrestle with. You know what I mean? Like that would be nice, because he's very much like a Justin Gaethje type of fighter when he's in that zone.
Yeah.
Knocking dudes out with the right. His movement's great. His wrestling is incredible. I'd love to see him at, and maybe this is his turning point, you know?
It could be. That big loss, taking such a loss could have humbled him and made him realize he can't fight he can't wait for the big shot. He's
Right.
actually got to go in there and
nobody's interested in fighting him. Leon's taking this fight because, you know, Leon wants to fight the former champ who's still a relevant big name, and, you know, nobody wants to fight Leon too. You know, everybody's trying to make these money fights.
Yeah.
You know?
Another piece of news that was pretty cool is Thiago Santos to bare knuckle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he signed a contract. He's fighting for bare knuckle.
Thiago Alves.
What did I say? Santos?
Yeah, I was like,
wrote
wait a minute.
Santos. Thiago Alves has made the move to bare knuckle, and I love it.
Yeah, you know, formal title. He had the interim welterweight title before, fought Matt Hughes and got beat. But yeah, great long time welterweight of the UFC. Mm-hmm. Great Muay Thai. I always loved his kicks, but you know, going to bare knuckle, maybe lets his hands go more. He hits hard as hell.
Hard.
So yeah, he'll knock some guys out.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. And then, speaking of bare knuckle, I thought I wrote it down. Yeah, Bare Knuckle FC 10, February 15, 2020. The headline will be Hector Lombard
Nice.
versus David Mundell. I don't know who David Mundell is, but
Not the champ, I don't think, anyways.
Probably
So,
not.
I mean, it's been a bit since we had a bare knuckle event.
Yeah.
You know, so
they're few and far between.
I'm definitely down to see one again. Can't wait. Hector Lombard, UFC vet. You know, that'd be good to see.
Exactly. And then for me, the final piece of news: Antonio Brown wants a fight against Logan Paul, the YouTube sensation, who actually has a professional fight under his belt.
Yeah, against that other YouTube guy. I forget what his name. KSI or I don't know, something like that.
I don't even know.
You know, my kid was talking about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The teenagers know about it. The 20-year-olds know about it.
When I first saw it, I was like, I recognized the dude's face, but I'm like, why don't I know him as a boxer?
He's not unskilled.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in great shape.
Yeah,
he's been
super
training.
good shape.
He's been training for, a good amount of time now. He's got a little experience.
Mm-hmm.
What do we know about Antonio Brown? Can he throw hands? Like,
Can he throw hands?
You know?
I mean, crazy
we
athletic.
know he's in great shape.
Yeah.
But can he throw hands?
I hope we find out.
Logan Paul might put a beating on him. Who knows?
You know what? And if he does, it's been a whooping that it's been due for Antonio Brown.
He might need it.
He needs to be put over someone's knee for a long time.
I might not be mad at that.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. What else you got?
Definitely got to talk about Robert Whittaker. Last week we talked about his undisclosed pullout of the fight with Jared Cannonier.
I'm sorry, Robert Whittaker.
Yes, you had gave him the yellow belly syndrome. You said you ragged on him real hard.
I ripped into him.
And I didn't want to believe it. I gave him the benefit of the doubt and said, wait until I read some more. And he's donating bone marrow to his daughter, who is, I don't know, maybe 2 years old. So we don't know exactly what she's suffering from, but our thoughts are with their family.
Thoughts and prayers out to you and your family, Robert Whittaker.
And they're going to be taking bone marrow from his hips. They already did one, I guess, and they don't know how many times they need to take it from him to give it to her. And it lowers your bone density, takes weeks to fill back up.
Yeah.
Makes your bones weak, does all kinds of different stuff to you. Obviously, he can't fight like that.
Correct. And so he's saving his daughter's life, putting his career on the line.
Yeah.
That's super respectful.
Absolutely. So, I knew it was something good, Reaper. I had your back.
I unfortunately did not. Foot inserted into mouth.
Yeah. What about this Kamaru Usman Twitter thing?
I know you told me about it. Let's tell the viewers about what happened.
If you didn't see the tweets, talking crazy stuff on Saturday night about Conor McGregor, getting real expletive in there, talking about sexually assaulting his wife even.
Whoa.
I can't believe that from Kamaru Usman. Would he write that? I mean, I don't know.
He seems too professional.
He does seem far too professional. He is coming at George Masvidal a little hard in the tweets, and is down to throw some bad language in there. So I don't know. But the whole, assaulting the wife, like while you watch, and I slapped the oh man, it was just like,
yeah,
what?
it was pretty brutal.
I was like, what?
He is disclaiming it, though.
They're saying that officially that his Twitter account was hacked. They had also, whoever hacked it, also had put up a bank statement and that had PIN numbers on it and stuff. So
it kind of seems
I'm inclined to
believable.
believe that it could have been hacked.
I put my foot in my mouth once. I'm not gonna do that again.
But
So benefit of the doubt.
Connor seems to think that there's a chance that Ali Abdiaziz, the manager that nobody likes, he's quite snaky. That he might have done it just to bait Connor into a
war of words. And nobody does the war of words like Connor, man.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think that suits Usman.
No.
I don't think that's Usman's character. Benefit of the doubt, I think. Yeah.
Gotcha. We got anything else?
That's it for me, man.
All right. So let's get into this next event. UFC Fight Night 166, Blades versus Dos Santos, Saturday, January 25th at 8 p.m. in the PNC Arena, Raleigh. And
our customary 15-minute breakdown.
yes. So let's bust into it. In the prelims, we got a lot of prelim fights.
There is.
What is it, like 7 prelim fights to 5 main events?
I don't know why they can't just do early prelims for the fight nights if they want to make that many.
Maybe because it's all for ESPN, and if they do early prelims,
then they had to spread it out into because they have it on 3 different channels
exactly.
when they do that.
So in the featherweight division, Herbert Burns 9-2 going up against the 13-2 Nate Landwehr.
Yeah, you got me. 2 debuting guys. Herbert Burns from the Contender, 3 wins in a row, all by submission.
Wow.
Including the win on the Contender. Nate Landwehr, it's his debut, 7 wins in a row.
Wow.
Just earns a contract the old-fashioned way. Good hands. He hasn't lost since 2015. Most of his wins by punches. So.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. Who you got?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna trust in the Contender.
Me too. Herbert Burns.
Yeah,
That's who
I'm
I
gonna
got.
go with the Contender guy on this one.
All right. In the men's bantamweight division, Brett Johns 15-2 going up against the 19-5 Tony Gravely.
Tony Gravely, Contender, 7 wins in a row, all stops, 6 of them KOs, 1 submission.
Oh, okay.
This dude's a threat.
Yes.
Brett Johns, right? He's a decision guy. Last 2 in the UFC. Decision loss versus Pedro Munoz in August of 2018, though, and a decision loss before that against Aljamain Sterling in April of 18. So, I mean, he hasn't been too active.
But a win over Aljamain Sterling is huge.
A decision loss.
Oh, a decision loss.
Did I say
you
win?
said win.
I apologize.
All right, so I'm going to change that to Gravely.
Yeah.
All right, and then in the women's bantamweight division, we got Sarah McMahon, 11-5, going up against the 10-4 Lena Landsberg. I love this fight.
A great fight.
Super great fight.
I think Lena Landsberg's had some, a little bad luck in the UFC, but she's back on the upswing. Sarah McMahon is pioneering mixed martial artist, in the female divisions. She's fought everyone, whether that's in Invicta or Strike Force or whatever. She's a silver medalist wrestler from 2004 in the Olympic team.
Okay.
Her last 2 fights, a submission loss to Marion Renault and a submission loss to Ketlin Vieira, losing the 2 up-and-comers. Lena Landsberg, her last 2, decision win over Macy Chiasson and a decision win over Tanya Evinger. So she's on the upswing.
Yeah.
Muay Thai specialist Lena Landsberg, great wrestler Sarah McMahon. This is a pick 'em.
Exactly. I like Lena Landsberg in this fight.
I think so too. She's on the upswing.
In the men's bantamweight division, Montel Jackson 8-1 going against the 9-1 Felipe Colares.
Yeah, Montel Jackson. I talked about him briefly in the last episode because one of his last fights is against Brian Keller, with a win, a decision win over him, and after that it was Andre Sokum Thoth with a decision win over him. He's got 5 KOs overall.
Wow,
he's a threat. The Keller win was by submission actually. So
There it is. That's big.
Felipe Calores, 1-1 in the UFC. Decision win against Diego Pilarde. Last fight out. And I can't remember the fight before that. But he's usually beaten on the feet. You know, he's a straight BJJ guy, Calores. So, if Montel Jackson stays standing, he's going to knock him out.
I like Montel Jackson in this fight as well. In the women's flyweight division, Justine Kish, 16-2, going up against the 8-5 Lucy Pudilova.
I was going to say, you don't be messing that one up.
Yeah.
Justine Kish, Ultimate Fighter 20. She was on there but had a knee injury, which had her, pulled out. The last two losses versus Ji Yoon Kim. That was nice. Ji Yoon Kim, you remember the nervous Korean female fighter?
Yes.
And before that, she lost to Felicia Herrig in 2017 and shit her pants, if you remember that, in the cage.
No.
One of the funniest moments in UFC history. Oh, my
God. I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was great.
Wow.
I had to bring that up.
Wow.
You're not going to live that down, Justine Kish.
No, ever.
Lucy Pudilova, last 3 losses.
Really?
Yeah. Submission loss against Antonina, loss against Liz Carmouche, and loss against Irene Aldana.
Oh, well, big.
She's been very active, however, because Antonina was in August. That was that last comeback win for Antonina.
Yeah.
Carmouche was in February. That was the fight to get Carmouche to the title shot.
Correct.
So that shows you how high Pudilova was up in the rankings at that point.
Yep.
And then lost to Aldana.
And, Aldana.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. This might be the time for Pudilova to come back or Justine Kish. This looks like one of them got to hit the upswing.
I'm going to go with Duty Pants.
Yeah.
I have to go with her, Justine Cucka. In the featherweight division, Arnold Allen, 15-1, going up against the 30-10 no contest, Nick Lentz.
Yeah, Nick Lentz been around forever. He's been around since 2009.
Wow.
14-7-1-1 in the UFC.
Oof.
Yeah, stat sheet stuffer.
Yeah.
Hit last 2 KO loss versus Charles Oliveira. And a decision win over Scott Holtzman. So he's up and down, Nick Lentz. You could sometimes see some magic from him. Arnold Allen, though, 6-0 in the UFC.
Yep.
He's a beast. Last 2 decision win versus Gilbert Melendez and decision win versus Jordan Rinaldi.
Arnold Allen, that's the young kid, isn't it?
Yep.
And he put work on Gilbert.
Yeah, he did.
He put work on him.
He out-grappled and outstruck Gilbert Melendez. So
he's that young kid. Got to go with Arnold Allen.
Going Arnold Allen.
All right, and then the main event of the prelim, Bevan Lewis, 6-2, going up against the 18-8 Daquan Townsend.
Bevan Lewis, 2-0 in the UFC, I believe.
Okay.
Decision. No, he's 1-1 in the UFC. That doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, because he got no, he's 0-2 in the UFC.
Dang.
Correction.
Wow.
I wrote that wrong because I'm looking through the stats like, no, that ain't right. Last fight out, he fought Darren Stewart. And if you remember, we were saying something about Darren Stewart looking just like Tyron Woodley, I believe, or somebody. He looked just like him. But
I think I do remember
Darren Stewart got the razor close split decision, and before that, he lost a KO to Uriah Hall. That was Uriah's comeback fight with that one shot.
Mm-hmm. I remember that one.
Yeah, I was like, no, he ain't 2-0. He's 0-2. So,
Daquan Townsend, I remember him. I know that.
He got a KO loss in his debut versus Longwambula. Remember, he stepped in on short notice?
Yes, Longwambula.
Yeah, he stepped in on like 3 days notice, though, and we were like, oh, hey, you got to give him hats off for that.
Yeah.
Because he stepped in on 3 days notice, he ended up serving a 6-month suspension for cocaine and fentanyl. Not any kind of performance enhancing. He said, I'm not a drug user. He had to do rehab. They made him do a 6-month suspension and a rehab.
Wow.
They said you can get only 6 months suspension if you go to rehab. So he quietly went to rehab, did his thing, whatever USADA wanted. He said, I had 3 days notice for the fight. He's like, I ain't making any excuses.
There it is.
He's like, I'm not a drug user, but I did drugs.
All right, we got 5 minutes to get through this main card. Jamal Hill, 6-0, going up against the 13-3 Darko Stokic.
Hill from the Contender, 2 stops in his 6 fights. Darko Stokic, 1-2 in the UFC, I believe. Wins over Kimball. Then whoever.
You're not going fast.
No, I know. Devin Clark. Oh, and then, anyways, he's 1-2.
All right, I'm going with Jamal Hill.
I think Stosic is going to go back up here.
Dope.
Yeah.
Strawweight division, Hannah Cyphers, 10-3, going up against the 10-7 Angela Hill stepping in.
Yeah, Hannah Cyphers, 2-1 in the UFC. TKO loss versus Barber, and has a couple split decisions last 2 fights that she won. Angela Hill's 4-5 in the UFC.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Last 2 doctor stoppage against that Bull Carnelossi that she won. Before that was a loss. She's up and down, but I'll go with Angela Hill in this.
Really? Yeah. I'm going to go with Cyphers. In the men's flyweight division, Jordan Espinosa, 14-6 in 1-0 contest, going up against the 22-5 Alex Perez.
1-1 in the UFC for Espinosa. Decision win versus Eric Shelton, and submission loss versus Matt Schnell. Last fight out.
Okay.
Alex Perez, Contender, 2017 Dana White's Contender Series, the original. 4-1 in the UFC since that. Last 2 KO loss versus Benavidez, and decision win versus Mark De La Rosa last time out.
Okay, I'm going to go with Perez.
I think so too.
In the welterweight division, Rafael Dos Anjos, 29-12, going up against the 16-4 Michael Chiesa.
I think this got fight of the night written all over it. Personally, both just veterans. Rafael, 18-10 in the UFC.
Wow.
That's a crazy UFC record. Last 2, decision loss versus Leon, submission loss before that to Kevin Lee. No, submission win.
Yeah.
My bad.
He put it on Kevin Lee.
He put it on Kevin Lee and finished him with that arm triangle.
Yeah, made Kevin Lee drop right back to light.
Yeah, great win from him. That decision win, decision loss against Leon. I think he was doing pretty well. He's still top tier.
Yeah.
Chiesa, Ultimate Fighter 15, 9-4 in the UFC. Decision win against Diego Sanchez last time, and before that though, that nasty one-arm Kimura against Carlos Condit.
There it is.
I gotta go with Dos Anjos, the
Absolutely.
former lightweight champion.
100%. And then in the heavyweight division, the fight I've been waiting to see, Curtis Blades, 12-2 with 1-0 contest, going up against the 21-6 Junior Dos Santos.
Yeah, the men who can't get by Francis Ngannou.
Yeah,
is pretty much the story of this fight. Curtis Blades on the better upswing. He's 7-2 in the UFC. Both losses versus Ngannou.
Really?
Yeah. One when he first came into the UFC, and one recently.
Wow.
He's got 2 wins in a row though. Decision versus Justin Willis.
Wins.
TKO versus Shamil Abdurakhimov. He's definitely got the wrestle advantage. Dos Santos debuted at UFC 90.
Wow.
And we just had UFC 246.
Yeah.
15-5 in the UFC. Great record.
Yeah.
KO loss versus Ngannou last. 3 wins in a row, though, before that. Blagoy, Tai Tuivasa, and Derek Lewis. Wrestling advantage for Blades, striking advantage for Dos Santos.
Yeah.
Experience advantage for Dos Santos by a ton.
And this is a big fight for, if Curtis Blades can win this fight, it definitely puts him up.
Take him down, Curtis, because I'm going with you.
Absolutely.
Take him to the mat.
Yeah, gotta go with Blades here.
Yes.
But I think this is another fight that could battle with Dos Anjos Chiesa for fight of the night.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's no doubt in my mind that this fight doesn't make it out of the second round.
That's big implications for the heavyweight division in general.
Absolutely.
I think with those two.
Absolutely. All right. With that being said, that's all we're going to have for you this week. Make sure you check us out on YouTube, Gym Bag Entertainment.
Taylor the Tape MMA on Facebook and Instagram.
And share, and subscribe. And until next week, we will see you in the octagon. Have a good night.